Hello everybody, and welcome to another Kev Play. This is Kevin, and we are on part 31 of Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Part 6 of Spyro Year of the Dragon. And with that, we have surpassed as the longest running Kev Play series. Crash Insane Trilogy was 25 parts, that's including the Stormy Ascent and the Future Tense level. And The Last of Us was 30 parts, being both The Last of Us Left Behind and the online episode. So, with 31... Oh, and our Spyro episodes have been running a little longer, usually averaging maybe 1 hour and 10 minutes, because there's just so much to do. But yeah, right now, this is the longest running series that we have. And it's only one title. It's all wrapped into one $40 purchase back when it first came out. Which is very, you know, honestly, it's kind of... It makes me rethink, the idea that Spyro... You know, we've had Crash Insane Trilogy, we've had CTR, Nitro Fueled, and then we had Crash 4. Including a mobile game, Crash on the Run. I think Spyro games, actually, there's a lot more work that goes into it, because every level, like, think of it this way, Crash 4 needed to prove to be a $60 game. So they did the whole inverted levels, even, like, the regular levels run longer, maybe, like, than an average, original trilogy level runs. There's so much more to do, there's so much more to collect. They try to make that game a $60 game. So, for there to be a Spyro 4, and if Toys for Bob was to do the same treatment, then you'd have to imagine that there's going to be a lot more content than what you would expect from Spyro 1 on its own, 2 on its own, or 3. Like, they're trying to... They might... If, you know, whatever's going on behind the scenes with Spyro, if at all, which I hope there is, and I believe there is, you gotta imagine that they're really expanding in different ways. And honestly, I don't think inverted levels are gonna be a thing. I think they know this is an open world-ish type game, and I can see them really, like, you know, taking that to heart, you know? I feel like at the heart, Spyro has always been an open-world game, but due to limitations, it has always been, you know, kind of condensed levels. So I wonder if a Spyro 4 would actually embrace a huge open world where, like, the environments change depending on where you go, because the map is so huge. And plus, it's like a fantasy setting, so they can do anything they want, really. But it just makes me think, because, you know, we haven't had a Spyro since 2018. In 2019 they worked on CTR, 2020 they worked on Tony Hawk, Pro Skater 1+2, and Crash 4. And when I mean them, I mean you know, Activision's like remake trained developers like Vicarious Visions, Toys for Bob, Beanox. But for there to be 5 years in between this game and a new game, it kind of makes sense to me now, because these games are... This game is, like, the 3 games that are wrapped into one title here. It's a long game. There's a lot of content to do. And they're doing it from scratch, too, so, you know... What's this guy gotta say? Hey, Public Pig.
Good fight, sir. We're almost there, and I'm, right behind you.
Thank you, Gabrielle.
Keep fighting a good...
Honestly, I was so busy this week that I kind of had to just catch the highlights for Gamescom. I didn't actually sit down and watch it. And honestly, I thought it was going to be a multiple day thing. Because, you know, the actual event is called Opening Night Live. So I figured, like, oh, okay, this is like the opening day. Like, almost like an E3. Like, E3 Day 1. But apparently that's not what it is. It's just... That's Opening Night Live means the event. I actually thought there was some stuff that interested me. We didn't get what we didn't get what I wanted. Yeah, it didn't seem to be anything too crazy, but the DualSense Edge, that intrigued me. I'd be interested to see more about what that's all about. Then you have... What else was there? Oh, the Hogwarts Legacy. What did they show about Hogwarts Legacy again? I forget, but I remember being like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Of what they did show. It seemed like, oh, it was like a gameplay trailer, right? Or something like that. That's a game that I'm looking to get, I think, in 2023. I used to be a big Harry Potter guy back when I read the books. I was never really too crazy about the movies. I kind of phased out of them after like the first 3 and the 4. Or I remember going to the 5th Harry Potter movie on opening on like the release night or whatever at 12 at like midnight, the midnight showing, and I remember being like, because it was like right after the book came out too. I remember just being like, man, oh man, you cannot make this book into a film. There's so much going on in that book that even a huge bloated movie doesn't really give it justice. So I remember being disappointed as a fan. But looking back now, I'm kind of like, okay, you know, it's a movie, whatever. It does what it has to do. I always loved the books. It's actually funny. My dad. I would never expect this from him, but he actually came to me one night and said, like, "Hey, do you still have your Harry Potter books?" He's like, I want to, because he used to work as a, he was working as like a night shift security guard for like a high school, because he was already retired from like working as a correction officer and all that. But he wanted to try the books out while he was while he was just like driving around in his car and just waiting for his shift to be over. So he actually read all the books, which is kind of surprising to me. But he enjoyed them, so... How do I drop these? Yeah, the movies are enjoyable. I think they're well casted, but it's hard to tell the stories give the stories justice in those movies, I think. I think Harry Potter would have served better as a TV show, but I can't imagine having the budget of a feature film, because in a magical setting, you kind of need all the money in your budget to kind of really sell it. When anything's possible, you know? But yeah, Gamescom, nothing too much interested me. I guess Hideo Kojima is coming out with a podcast, which seemed kind of like a troll to a lot of people, because they're just waiting for him to show up at one of these game events and kind of announce a game already. But, you know, whatever. I was kind of hoping we get something Crash or Spyro related, but I guess this is going to be a Game Awards thing. It has to be. Honestly, I'd be so surprised if nothing happens. Especially since Toys for Bob has been teasing it. They've been teasing that there's an announcement incoming, so... Kojima just came to show up. Yeah, that's what he does. He deserves it, though. He's, you know... He's put out a lot of content for great games for the medium, so... I'm sure we all know he's working on something, so at least he's not, you know, at least there's the promise of that. You know he's working on something. I think I should go backwards with this bomb, because there's some stuff I need to backtrack to get. Oh, I gotta get these guys, too. Nope. Okay, Ellis. Oh, there we go. Other than that, I ended up beating, oh.
Mission accomplished. It's great to have you back, sir.
Anytime. Ryan Lee. I think that's supposed to be a Saving Private Ryan... I mean, Saving Private Ryan, reference there.
Sir, We need to rescue the rest of the squad before we can launch a raid on the sorceress's castle. So.
Okie dokie. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I managed to beat Black Site Area 51. It was a very short game. I thought the campaign was fine. I thought it was good. Overall, it made it like after beating it, it made me like watch a bunch of reviews on YouTube, which the game gets very critically panned for how it how just the bugginess of it, but and the frame rate issues. But honestly, I didn't experience many bugs that were like game breaking or anything to me. So I kind of had a good experience with it. So I'm glad I picked it up. I think these guys are a skill point. And I started playing God of War Ascension, which I think came out 2013, maybe, I think. Were you on your PS3 the other day? Yeah, I was. I was playing God of War Ascension. And I would have been playing Black Site Area 51. I don't know if you can tell if you could see me playing on that or not. You're friends with me, aren't you? On PlayStation? I gotta get that last chest over here. But God of War Ascension, I'm actually pretty impressed with. Like technically, it's amazing, like very stunning. It feels like you're playing an Uncharted game. Yeah, that was definitely me playing some God of War Ascension. But yeah, God of War Ascension I'm really loving. It has like it feels very inspired by Uncharted in the set pieces and the kind of the gravitas and the big explosive moments that it has. Kind of carrying that whole theme of like, you know, kind of marveling in like the Greek god kind of genre. All these like huge structures all the time, and you know, huge boss fights and all that. I love when we blow this floor open. It always comes as a nice surprise. Oh, I should get. Oh, we're going exploring now. But yeah, God of War Ascension's good. It's funny because there's. At this point, I think it's like the fifth and final God of War in Greek mythology, and just when I thought I knew all the Greek lore and monsters and all that, there's so much more that's just untapped that they continue to like explore. But it's weird because it makes sense from a mythology standpoint and kind of like honoring that. But if I was someone who was just like, say if the mythology was just being made up on the fly, I would consider the creatures I'm coming across as kind of like a jumping the shark moment for me, because where like in other God of Wars you're facing off against minotaurs and cyclops and medusas and all that, and all the Greek gods. Like, the first enemies you go up against are, like, these insectoids, like, these, like, it's like, men with, like, a fly's head, like an insect's head, or whatever. I'm just like, this feels more science fiction now than Greek mythology, but maybe I just don't know Greek mythology enough. Because then they started, and then it gets into kind of like almost like a mutated like zombie type of genre too, because like there's this one character I just fought who was like I don't know, felt kind of like a Last of Us fight in the way it was like a mutated character. But I'm guessing these are all characters that are part of Greek mythology, so what do I know? Are you? Yeah, there we are. I don't know why that took multiple missiles. Private something.
Ready to be debriefed, sir.
Nikita. But yeah, I'm enjoying God of War Ascension so far. I haven't beat it yet, but I'm very much enjoying it. Oh, is this the only? area over here, or... Oh, I guess this is the only... Okay, that's cool. Very short little area. Still want to play the Origins collection. Yeah, definitely, dude. I honestly want to hop back into that once I'm done with Ascensions, just for fun, because I'm still playing, like, I'm replaying it on the hardest difficulty, and I'm getting through it, like, you know, and I think the Ghost of Sparta one, I'm actually very close to platinuming if I could stick with it. Alright, I think I'm at the beginning here, alright. Is it expensive? Because I got it for like 17 bucks on Amazon, and it was new. I don't know. I think you should try to look into multiple marketplaces, or maybe like Facebook Marketplace or something. But Amazon seemed to deliver the goods for me. That said, I think there was only one left in stock when I did it, but it was already after it went out of stock and came back. So I think they have it in stock. They just need to kind of like add it in or something. If you just check periodically. Oh, where do you live? Are you in the UK or Canada? Oh, and by the way, I heard that I'm sorry that the PlayStation 5 has just increased in price in every geographical location except for the US for now, by like 50 bucks. That's such a... Honestly, that's... I love Sony in terms of being a fan of their games and stuff, but as a company right now, they are kind of... it does feel like it's like early PS3 generation right now, where they got cocky after the success of PS4, and I feel like they could blame it on inflation and stuff, but honestly, they shouldn't be passing off the difference onto the consumer. They should be eating the cost, I think. They're a billion-dollar company. It's kind of ridiculous. Thank God you got a PS5, though. You know, it sucks that it's hard to get for everyone else, but you got your PS5 in time, I'd say. Because I think that's something that... Because I think, like, for my mom's birthday, or, like, last year or so, I bought her the Oculus Quest, the VR headset, and apparently that's gone up in $100 as of recently, too, so... And she enjoys that thing, by the way. And she's not like a gamer, really, but she really enjoys that VR headset, because it kind of does more than just games. It's good for, like, exercising and, you know... It's kind of like this, like, Google Maps feature, kind of called Wander, that is really cool, where you can go anywhere on Earth and look at it in a 3D space, and it's good. You know, it's a good trip down memory lane for her. See if I can get in here. Oh, I'm very lucky right now. I'm kind of just winging this. No pun intended.
Before I was captured, I recovered this egg from the enemy, sir.
Roy.
What are your orders, sir?
Private Helene.
What are your...
Stay here and man the base. Okay. Oh well. I just want to rush through this part. I don't need to be crazy perfect with it. Oh, I still have to get that little muskrat thing. Have I got all these guys yet, or not? Oh, here's one. Let's go point. Alright, how many... I'm down 30. There's something weird with this level. Every time I've played it, ever since I've played it, since the beginning of time, I always have trouble finding all the gems right away. But hopefully I can get through this, and... So now we got 20 left, it would be. Is there an area I'm missing? I don't think so. Did I go back for that chest? I forgot. Oh, I did, because I broke the floor open. Yeah. Let's make sure that we got nothing. Oh, here. Oh, no, that's a ladybug. Maybe there's another balloon somewhere that I'm not seeing. Oh, wait. There's another 10-piece. Alright, now we're missing one more 10-piece. Well, I did pop a balloon. Did I go all the way down to retrieve everything? Not seeing it. Let's see if there's a balloon up here that I'm missing. Don't think so. Let's try looking back over here. Maybe there's a balloon up here that I failed to get. Nothing. I mean, I already was over here. I feel like I combed this pretty... Oh, there we are. Okay. You know what it was? I think I got this last time, but I had to redo this part of the level in order to get it. There we are. Alright. Let's get out of here.
So, we need to rest.
I already did. Alright. That was Sergeant Bird's base. We recaptured our base. Imagine if we don't get anything crash next month. Yeah, I know. It's honestly because September 9th was when they put out that tweet that it was like, oh, expect something soon. Well, we'll be here. It was the anniversary tweet. Which, by the way, I love that fake Crash account that's always ripping on them. On Toys for Bob. It makes me laugh every time he just keeps, like, barreling into them about how they still kept that tweet up and they haven't done anything since. But yeah, honestly, if they don't do it by September 9th, it's gonna... I mean, I could see them doing that, not doing anything since then, but or at least announcing something, but it will be so laughable that a whole year went by and they did nothing. Okay, so now I think we can go back to... let's do our backtracking before we continue on with this homeworld. Because we still have to do Sergeant Bird over here. Oh, what's he doing over there? I kind of want to know what he's up to. I love that account, though. It's amazing. What's he doing? He's just kind of watching it? Okay. Back to Sunrise Spring, and we're gonna go to that, Molten... something. Whatever that level is called. And honestly, if at least I have God of War Ascension right now that's holding me over, and then Stray I have pre-ordered on Amazon. I'm gonna get that physically, September, end of September, like the 20th, I think. So I'm looking forward to play that game. That will be, yeah. So, all right, here we go. Let's get back to. Let's avoid the conversation with Zoe, because she... oh, Molten Crater, that's right. Yeah, I got a crap load of games I want to play as well. Yeah, honestly, there's a lot in my backlog. This has been a great year for backlog, for games for me. Like, the God of War Origins Collection, Black Site Area 51, God of War Ascension, yeah, and then... and there were some games too that from 2021 that came out that I picked up, but I'm not going to talk about them yet because I figure I'll talk about it once we get to that Game of the Year part. All right, so let's get through this to what's his name? Sergeant Bird should be available now. Step inside, old chum. Sergeant James Bird.
playing a game of hide and seek with my friends. If I can't find where they've hidden their heads, they won't let me join the Tiki Lodge. Help me put them back together and I'll make you an honorary member.
Alright. Anything to help out a honorary member.
When you find a head, land on top of it to pick it up. Then fly it over to an idle body to put them back together.
Okie dokie.
When you picked up a...
Gotcha. So I should probably start with my Game of the Year 2018 because we got a lot to go through. Let's put this head here. So yeah, one of the first games we'll talk about is one of the last of the franchise one of the last of the many games in the franchise that I own. I did not feel the need to get any more games from this franchise after this because it's so, you know, I'm sure the newer editions are good, but in their own ways, but this is a game where I'm not going to get it every year, and that's Call of Duty Black Ops 4. The reason I was drawn to this was, one, I did not have... The Black Ops series in Call of Duty is more boots to the ground, and the more recent Call of Duty that I got was Infinite Warfare. So that was very, very sci-fi, very, you know, like, boots not on the ground, very, you know, wall running, all this stuff. Me and my sister like to play co-op, or like split screen online. Well, I didn't get Black Ops 3. I only got Black Ops 4. The main draw for me for Black Ops 4 was the fact that it was capitalizing on the whole battle royale craze, which is, I figured, I was like, you know, I know PUBG started it all, but I was like, I have more confidence in a Call of Duty game, kind of. Well, one thing, PUBG didn't come to PlayStation for a long time anyway, so Call of Duty was kind of like the one kind of AAA studio that was doing it. I wanted to have that experience of playing like a 100-player battle royale, and the fact that you can play it with you can play it split screen. So me and my sister would do that. And it was basically our next-gen Call of Duty, because the Call of Duty we used to play a lot was, it was Call of Duty Black Ops 2 for PS3. So this was kind of like my way of being like, and she always wanted to play that game. I was like, I was like, if we're gonna keep playing Call of Duty, I have to at least get one of the newer games of the next generation. Which was the PS4 generation at the time, so I figured I'd do that. It is disappointing that there is no campaign, but I guess I got it as a gift anyway, so I was like, you know what, get this game, whatever. And at least in the era of live service games where everything's online only, at least when the service gets shut down for Call of Duty Black Ops 4, there's still offline multiplayer, I think, offline split screen. So at least there's something I can like at least pop the disc in if I ever feel the need to, and play again. But yeah. But now you got the Warzone for Battle Royale. Yeah, that's true, which I have not tried. I was kind of against the whole Warzone thing ever since when I heard that every Activision studio was forced to work on it. I kind of wanted to vote with my wallet and be like, hey, I don't want this game. Oh, I already went through this one. Oh, come on. But yeah. But yeah, it is a fun game. I like also that it has vehicles, like especially on the Battle Royale part, where you can get in and out of vehicles. So like, and it was just fun. Like me and my sister would get in like cars and shit and just like drive around. We can never kill anybody in Royale. We're much better playing the classic multiplayer. And I have to say, like, getting a Call of Duty game once or twice per generation isn't too bad, because there's that you can actually feel the jump in quality a little bit, even though it's more or less the same game all the time. But, ow. Oh, I dropped it down here. Oh, I dropped it in the damn, see if I can get back. Let me get that slug thing. There we are. But what was I saying? Yeah, like, it felt like there was a jump from the PS3 Black Ops 2 to Black Ops 4, so that felt good. I figured I'm not going to get any Call of Duties yet. I know there's the whole DualSense factor has it going for it, but yeah, I'm not going crazy about it just yet. Alright, there we are. Let's get this guy. But yeah, Black Ops 4, it's okay. Oh, I got all the gems, cool. Not gonna lie, that whole haptic feedback thing ain't all that crazy. It's not, exactly, like, and honestly, if I'm playing a first-person shooter, I don't think I actually want to have the haptics, because I feel like it's just gonna annoy me more than anything. Let's get this Tiki on.
Take this egg as a sign of your honorary membership to the lodge.
Ryan.
Well, that's never happened before. I hope it's not a bad omen.
It's a great omen. No one ever talks about good omens. Or maybe they do, I don't know. Isn't there supposed to be a skill point for this level where I have to do something with the heads? Molten Creator Supercharge. Molten Creator Assemble Tiki Heads. So, what the hell? I did that. Maybe there's more Tiki Heads? Oh, maybe I think there's supposed to be like 2 more, maybe. Maybe I didn't get all the Tiki Heads yet. Let's explore a little just to see. Oh, wait, what's going on here? This looks like something. An egg! Luna! Our new dog is named Luna. Well, my sister's dog. Puppy. Alright, so we got that. But what the heck? I thought there was a skill point for the Tikis. This one I already got. Did I go through here? I think I did. And I went through here before. There's a big Tiki right here, but what's over here? I went through here, didn't I? Yeah, there's one down there, and that's accounted for. I see another opening over here. What's over here? Oh, maybe this is that other area. I don't know. It's weird. Oh, I know what it means to assemble the Tiki heads. I have to come back here later. I think what they mean is I have to take the heads, and instead of putting it on the bodies, I have to just put them around here, like some weird satanic ritual or something. I remember that now. Alright. We'll come back later. But we have everything, so we're good. Let's get a... Oh, gotta go this way. But yeah, so there's Call of Duty Black Ops 4. The other game, the next game I'll talk about is... and this was a game... I remember seeing it at... I don't know if it was E3 or what. I know it was definitely at the Game Awards, but this game really intrigued me back when I was trying to find a game. This was kind of like my Stray for 2018, where it was kind of like a more of a smaller game, but it was interesting because it was the start of what EA introduced as EA Originals. And this game had a very eccentric eccentric creative director behind it, Joseph Fares, and that was A Way Out, which is co-op only, whether you're playing online, but it was designed for couch co-op, co-op only prison break game where you and another player play as two inmates who are trying to get out and who end up going on the run, which honestly, when I saw this game, I thought it was so cool because and I very much enjoyed it. I brought my friend Jesse in to play. We played through the whole game. A Way Out is a really great small kind of like indie. I guess you can call it. It's not indie because it has EA behind it, but it's more of like a double A game, I guess, not triple A. But very well done, very creative game. Every like in the game never gets boring. Once you think you have like one play style figured out, they change it up on you. I have not played It Takes Two, but I heard that was also another very bold game. That won Game of the Year, I believe, right? At Jeff Keighley's Game Awards. And honestly, I think if it wasn't for the success of A Way Out, that led to It Takes Two, because A Way Out was really cool. I played it with my friend. It's really cool too because it doesn't force. It's it's a linear story, but there's a lot of mini games to the game where you can, and there's a lot of choices that you can make that makes the game differently on multiple playthroughs. That makes it fun. And then I showed it to my two other friends. I just wanted them to play it on their own. I just wanted to watch them play and see what their reaction was. And they were having a blast. It was hilarious. And it's just funny because, like, you know, like when we would get to the minigame parts or whatever, it doesn't feel like, oh, this is a minigame, let's play it. It feels like a fun, normal thing to do where it's like, oh yeah, this is, let's go into this level here. They wanted, like they were literally spending hours playing the banjo in the guy's house where you end up in this old couple's house on a farm, and you have a choice whether you can let them chase the horses outside after letting the horses out, or you can tie them up and throw them in the closet or whatever, and then you can just play their instruments and the piano and stuff. And it was like a Guitar Hero thing. We played, like, they were playing that for hours at my house, just having a blast with it, laughing their ass off. It was fun. And then, but then they would press on, and there's so much more to do, and oh my god, just the way the game, I just love what the game does with the co-op. It reminds me of Crash Bash in the way I mean, I don't know. Have you played A Way Out? Because I don't want to spoil anything. So, but it's very interesting, and it has a very interesting story. And Joseph Fares, you know, he is the guy who said "fuck the Oscars," and he has that charisma to him that's very funny to me. And like when I saw that Game Awards moment, I was like, I have to get this game now. This guy is great. But it wasn't just because of that. It was because I actually was genuinely interested in the game. Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's hard. It's very harder to find people for a couch co-op game. But what made it great too is that you could play it online with a friend if you have online friends on PSN. So that was always an option. But very excellent game though. Very short game, but very very to the point, and very a good exploration of that type of game and that kind of genre, like the Prison Break type game. So.
I was supposed to meet Doug to go ice fishing today, but Rhinox have blocked the path with ice, so I can't get through.
And that's a game I still have to platinum because of just what you just said. Is that it's hard to like. One thing is you have to have a friend who's willing to play with you. And honestly, if you wanted to play the game, like try to platinum the game on your own, you're literally going to use two controllers, and that's going to be death. So it really is designed for two players. And honestly, it's a game like couch co-op is a dying art, and I feel like I needed to support that. And honestly, that's why I'm glad that a game like It Takes Two wins Game of the Year, because it's kind of like showing that, like, you know, these type of games are still relevant, and you know, people still want them. So. and I don't really play games with my bro anymore. Yeah, and that's the thing, is I try to play with my sister, and she, I don't know, she wasn't really getting that invested with it. I think she was intrigued by it, but it wasn't really, like, winning her over. I enjoyed it, though.
It doesn't even shoot straight. I haven't been able to hit a dang thing all morning.
Oh, I'll hit these birds out of the sky, don't worry. But yeah, Way Out was a fun game that wasn't. It's nice to get games that aren't just Sony first party or very AAA third party games. It's fun to get that really rare game once in a while, or the game that not a lot of people are going crazy, or that might not even know about. I was glad that I was just watching whatever like game showcase I was watching at the time, that presented that game for the first time and revealed it. And I remember just being like, that's a game that is new, that I'm not familiar with, and I'm willing to try it out. So maybe when I get a girlfriend. Yeah, that's a good girlfriend game. And I imagine It Takes Two is also the same case, even though that game's more about a divorce. But honestly, I think it's good for anyone who's in a relationship with someone.
You can hop on the cannon and try shooting the ice block if you want to, but I'm warning you, it's a lot harder than it looks.
Oh, I just did it. Don't worry about it, Bob.
Well, you can hop.
Okay. What's my next game? Oh yeah, you know what the next game is? We're playing it. Spyro Reignited Trilogy for the PS4. What an excellent surprise this was when this first came out. Another game just like the Insane Trilogy where I was all over every video release of a new level or a new reveal, every content creator going over this. I was in the trenches saying, hey, that needs to be changed, hey, I hope they do this, I hope they do that. This game is so... And because this game is so big, me playing it for the second time right now, it's just as surprising just for the aesthetic standpoint. Like, I'm forgetting the art style and, like, exactly how the graphics played out again. I know it was always gorgeous, but it really is well, I'm not putting it as my game of the year, obviously, because just like the Insane Trilogy, there's actually less new content here than the Insane Trilogy. At least the Insane Trilogy gave you Future Tense and Stormy Ascent. But I still have to note that this is a notable title that came out in 2018, where it's not just a remaster, it's not just an HD polish, slapped on. It's a full from the ground up remake that feels like it's a fresh new game, but it's not. It's still just Spyro, the Spyro we knew. There's no new content here. There's no new levels or anything. So yeah, this would not be eligible for Game of the Year, but I have to at least talk about it, because it was one of the most important games of the year, in a very great year for games for me. This game coming out in 2018. It was disappointing how it had controversy about how the entire game is not on the disc. There was a required download, which I still have that version. Unfortunately, I know they released a different version where everything is on the disc. I'm guessing the only reason everything wasn't put on the disc from the get-go was because the game was delayed. They were still... They probably didn't have the game ready for the disc, for the entire, the full disc version when it came out. So it's kind of unfortunate, but at this point, I'm willing to... If anything bad happens with Spyro, if the online servers go down or something, and for some reason my download, I can never get the download to work again, at least I know that there's a physical proper version that exists now, that has the whole game on it. But I said from the get-go, that's gonna hurt the game. Like, it's gonna hurt sales, and it almost made me wonder if maybe that's one of the reasons why we haven't seen a Spyro game in a long time. But like I said in the beginning of this episode, these are big games to develop. For 3 games to be in one title for $40, so I don't blame them for taking their time for Spyro 4, especially with everything that's been going on with Activision and COVID and you know, everything. So we are underneath the ice right now. This would be stressful if we had a breath meter and we were underneath the ice and we couldn't find our way out. But that's what I love about Spyro swimming. You don't need no breath meter. Whoa. He can aim up? I was expecting to jump over his snowballs, but he shot me out of the sky there. Also, this game is censored. That's true. What was censored about it again? Oh yeah, that level in Spyro 2 with the kind of like the guy Bombo with the turban. They changed his name to like, I think they changed his name to like Bob or something. I forget. I'd have to roll back the tape on that episode we played. But honestly, Crash Team Racing is also censored, and that game is amazing. But so as long as Spyro still plays like Spyro, that's all I can really. You know, I can always go back to the original version if I want to, because I still have the original versions on PS1. Nice. But yeah, it's sad to see the artistic liberties that are made just to censor silly things like that. Let's get on this thing. And this. Okay, I think we got this settled. Go over here. But yeah, Spyro Reignited Trilogy, you know, we played, like, you know my thoughts on this. We've been playing it for 31 hours at this point. But, excellent game. Excellent remake by Toys for Bob. And yeah. So yeah, now these, I think I mentioned the first 3, right? These next 3 are, like, kind of like the contenders for Game of the Year, without a doubt. These next 3, and I'm sure you probably already know what they are. But we'll go with the one that surprised me because it came with my PS5 bundle, or at least as a peripheral of my PS5 bundle, and that's Spider-Man or Marvel Spider-Man. Whoa, whoa! He can shoot the ice too. Okay. Marvel Spider-Man came with my Miles Morales copy. I've never played any of these games. I kind of was avoiding it because I was a kind of not really a comic book guy up until this up until this point. I knew it was a great game by Insomniac, and I really love Insomniac. I've been playing their games since, you know, Spyro, Ratchet and Clank, Resistance. So Spider-Man is something I just was not. I knew it was good, but I wasn't going to pick it up. But thank God that this game had, like, that PS5 was so hard to get that I needed to get a GameStop copy that was a bundle that came with the game, because the remastered version on PlayStation 5, I'm sure the PS4 version still is just as, you know, like being that backbone. Like, it's what an excellent game. Like, I will be getting Spider-Man 2 when it comes out. I will be getting Wolverine when it comes out. I'm now completely okay with the comic book genre, because you know what the thing is, in the film industry, Marvel is it's all over the place. Like every year there's like 5 Marvel movies. It's to the point where it's exhausting, because a lot of like the good art house films or original films that I would like to see aren't there because Marvel's taking up that spot. It's kind of what annoyed me when like The Matrix Resurrections came out, because that's a franchise that I really loved, and I wanted to see that in Dolby Cinema Theater, which is like the very high-end theater, but I couldn't because Spider-Man Way Home was hogging the real estate. And so I ended up having to see The Matrix in IMAX, which is something I didn't want to do. I would have rather just seen it in Dolby Cinema. But I was glad with but that's the thing. It's just there's so many comic books. There's so many comic book movies. There's so many comic book TV shows, like you just said. Yeah, you got me. But the reason why I'm okay with it in video games right now, especially from a AAA studio like Insomniac, is that you're not going to get a million of these games. Even though we got Miles Morales as a spin-off, I'm fine with that because I love the game already. But I'm willing to get Wolverine and whatever games come out in the future because I know that it's going to take a long time for them to produce these games where it's going to be worth it. It's not just going to be this cash grab milking of a franchise or of like the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe or whatever. The games are going to come out very slowly but surely, but when they do, they're going to pack a huge punch, and there's going to be like over like 60 plus hours of gameplay for you to really have fun in. So Maynard, yeah, Disney's doing the same thing with Star Wars, I know a lot of people are starting to get sick of Star Wars as a brand now because it's just all over the place. It's a shame. And I'm like, I didn't actually start watching Star Wars until very recently, but like I kind of binged all the movies, thinking that maybe I'll watch The Mandalorian or something. But then there's so many other shows that happened since then, and so many, and it's just it just feels like they're just milking the cow for the sake of, it just feels like too much. I feel like if they did this with, say, The Matrix or anything else I like an Uncharted game every year or something, I feel like I wouldn't be able to keep up with it, but at a certain point I would get sick of it. Say Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. I'm glad that Vince Gilligan and Peter Gould do not plan on making a third spin, or there's Better Call Saul, El Camino, and Breaking Bad. I'm glad that they're just leaving it there, and that Vince Gilligan plans to move on to a completely new universe. Like, he wants to see what he can do with the new universe. I'm glad that he's doing that creatively because he wants to see if he can prove himself that he's not just relying on a really successful brand that he created. And I wouldn't want to see like a million Breaking Bad spin-offs or Better Call Saul spin-offs because at a certain point then it becomes less special. I like that. Honestly, I think Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, and El Camino, that's my favorite cinematic universe. Even though it's on television, it's one of my favorite cross-media like universes without a doubt. Nah, bro, I need a Mike spin-off. But didn't we get the Mike? Like, Better Call Saul was like half the Mike spinoff for me. And honestly, how much more? It sounds like they're going to do a prequel for Mike because it sounds like they're going to do a sequel for Mike because we know why. And there's not going to be a prequel for Mike because the actor is getting so old at this point. That actor is in his 70s, Jonathan Banks. So I don't think that's going to happen. Unless they replace the actor and some actor has to play as Jonathan Banks, or kind of like mimic his style, but I don't want to see that, honestly. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, that's not really a spoiler because because like he's kind of like in it from the get-go. Watch Better Call Saul if you want the Mike spinoff. That's what it is. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to like kind of, even though it's not the biggest reveal. But you'll definitely get your fill of Mike. Oh, yeah, you have seen some of Better Call Saul. Oh yeah, you watched like the first season, so you at least know he's in the show. Okay, that's good. Oh, you're in for a treat with that show, dude. Like, the Saul story is gonna get really great. and the mic portion of the show is going to get really great, and then it's just going to keep expanding and get really amazing. Like Better Call Saul is just honestly, I might like Better Call Saul more than Breaking Bad by like a hair, and that's saying a lot. Really, those bombs did not blow up the thing. All right, so yeah, Marvel Spider-Man, excellent game. You know, Peter Parker flying around as Spider-Man, doing flips, all these, you know, it feels so great. And it was so great playing on the remastered version, too, because it was like 60 frames per second. The city is like the closest thing you'll see to a New York City, I think, in any game. Let's see what this guy wants.
Step right up, Spyro. Behind this door is the single greatest show on Earth. That's right, ice dancing. Season tickets are available, but you'll have to act fast.
Take off, hoser.
What? You don't want to pay? What are you saving your money for? Another sequel?
I hope so. I hope we are. I hope we're saving our money for a sequel. Spyro 4, let's do it. Let's go. All right, we'll come back to you. But yeah, okay. So Spider-Man, excellent game. Really enjoyed the story. I'm gonna be completely down for the next game. It honestly is Game of the Year contender for 2018. It came towards the end. Yeah, I hope. But yeah, so our next game is God of War. 2018 God of War. Excellent, excellent game. I was very, very nervous about this game when it was first announced, because when it was first announced, the first thing I thought of was, oh, they're gonna ape the Last of Us success by being kind of like a father-child kind of like duo, you know, or, you know, kind of like how Joel and Ellie are, basically. And it's in Norse mythology now, so I was like, how does that work? And it has this over-the-shoulderness. It's not this top-down kind of arcade hack-and-slash game anymore. But, wow. Like, this game proved all my expectations. It blew all my expectations out of the water. It blew all my concerns. It exceeded everything that I was worried about, and it did so much right that I couldn't believe they reinvented the God of War franchise with a different playstyle, a different mythology, made it make sense in the world, and then made the Kratos Atreus story distinguished and original. And it wasn't just like a rehash of a Last of Us story. It was this own original story that has so much epicness to it, so much character development. Kratos is also, it solved the problem of Kratos as a character being kind of like this always like ultra angry, one-noted character. He has a lot more depth to him now. Excellent game. Excellent story. Really cool that the entire game is like one long tracking shot. It never cuts. The cutscenes never cut. I really like that kind of how Cory Barlog of as the creative director kind of like experimented with that format and made it work. There's literally no load times. Like, you're constantly moving forward, and there's never any cuts. It really feels like you're on a journey from A to B to C to all the way to Z. Excellent game. Honestly, the game could stand on its own in the same way The Last of Us did, in terms of, I don't even need Ragnarok, really, but I'm excited for it. Let's see what this bear has to say.
I put up ice blocks this morning so Bob wouldn't beat me to the ice fishing hole. If you want to try out the hole, you can borrow this fishing lure I've been using.
Chet? That's not a fishing lure.
Ooh, by the way, feel free to use our gondola whenever you want.
I will. But yeah, excellent game. I really love the Norse mythology. I always liked God of War because it felt like it was not just a game I enjoyed, but it was teaching me about Greek mythology, which is why I like that it went to Norse now, because I knew nothing about Norse mythology before starting this. And that's cool to me. You know, I enjoy that. I enjoy kind of learning as I'm playing. That's what I like about a lot of Sony games, is that they kind of teach you stuff too as you play. You know, like the Uncharted games teach you about like Sir Francis Drake and, you know, all these like these old explorers and all that. I think that's very interesting. Oh, there's... Can I don't know, I have to shoot something down maybe? I gotta say, combat kind of feels repetitive. I have not played God of War in a very long time since 2018. I remember enjoying it a lot. I mean, that the Leviathan axe feels so satisfying to use. So maybe the novelty of it blinded me from any criticism I might have of the combat itself. But for me, I always found it satisfying. I wonder if going back to it, if maybe I would agree with you, but I have not played the game since then, since 2018. I did platinum the game. Also, I platinumed Spyro Reignited Trilogy. I platinumed Spider-Man of the games we've mentioned so far. I have not platinumed Call of Duty Black Ops 4 or A Way Out, but excellent game. I got all those Odin's Ravens collected. I beat all the Valkyries. That Queen Valkyrie is one of the toughest fights I've ever had in a game that I've ever, you know, took on. And I played the game on. I don't think there's. Well, was there any difficulty options? I don't remember, but I played on normal. But yeah, excellent game. But it's not not the last game to note. The last game of 2018 that is a Game of the Year contender is Red Dead Redemption 2. This is a game that I have not played. I have not played the first game, but what was good about this game was that it's a prequel to the first game. So I figured, you know what, let's let that be my experience of Red Dead Redemption. Let me experience the prequel, and then, you know, we'll go from there. This game is another... Also, it really is... like, Rockstar... I think I only have one major game from Rockstar, because GTA 5 in 2013 was kind of like the tail end of the PS3. I have the PS3 version, and we haven't seen... we did not get a Rockstar game since, so it was 5 years since GTA 5, and then we get Red Dead Redemption 2. So I was like, you know what, I need to get this game because it's next gen, it's a prequel, so I won't be lost with the story or anything. And a Rockstar game is a game that you need to like turn your head and take notice, because they are putting out some of the best games per generation, without a doubt. Red Dead Redemption 2 is amazing. I love westerns. I love how it plays like a western movie, kind of like similar to like John Wayne's The Searchers, or like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly vibe. Excellent character in Arthur Morgan, and honestly, one of the most moving narratives in story, I'd say, coming from the PS4 generation, without a doubt, for me. Very long game, very huge game. There's a lot to do in this game. This is a game I knew from the beginning I was not going to be able to platinum this game, but I did as much as I can. You know, I was trying to fish all the big fishing spots, everything. The story is great. It's very long, and there's a very long epilogue. I haven't played any of the Red Dead games. Red Dead 2 is like one of the most memorable games for me for the PS4. PS4 generation without a doubt. I still have not played the first game. I did plan to do that, but after how much content and how many hours I put into Red Dead 2, I needed a break from that world. I needed to step away. But it's a game I still enjoy. Like, I'll still return to the online, which has developed a lot. Even though it didn't get the same treatment as GTA 5's online. I mean, they were expanding on it and stuff and adding, like, missions, and there was, like, kind of like a social network and everything, kind of like how GTA 5's online works. But I think GTA 5's online is a more universal, accessible online for the entire player base. Whereas, like, the cowboy genre, riding horses, it's a little bit more niche than, you know, driving around stealing cars and killing people. But Red Dead Redemption 2, one of the best games I've played of 2018, very much surprised me. The gameplay is a little not... I mean, you mentioned God of War's combat and being kind of repetitive. I wouldn't say Red Dead is repetitive, but I feel like there's a little bit of a datedness. Even when it came out, it felt like it was... you know, kind of like how, like, Uncharted games felt more... I wouldn't say Uncharted games are the most deep mechanics for shooting mechanics, but playing Red Dead 2, it did feel a little closer to GTA 5 for me, even though there's a lock-on system and kind of like a dual, like a kind of like a gun duel system to it, but it felt kind of, I don't know, more of like a hindrance. But that's a minor nitpick. For me, God of War's combat compared to Red Dead 2's combat is a little bit more satisfying. But there's so much to do in God of War 2. I mean, in Red Dead 2, there's so much like random events that happen, so many scary, creepy, funny things that happen in the game, like beyond the story that I really enjoy. The animals, the amount of animals in this game, like the wildlife. And then you have to, like, I think for the platinum, you have to, like, find or, like, come across or kill all these different species and different subspecies of animals. Like, it's really insane how much is going on in this game at once. And I really like, too, is that the NPCs, if you follow one NPC around for like a 24-hour cycle or like in-game cycle, they're doing something that's very unique throughout the day. It's not just like random NPCs are just thrown into into the map and they're kind of just walking back and forth. They're literally going through their day from like point A to B to C to D, and it's kind of impressive. But yeah, I got a crap load of games I want to play as well. Yeah, but oh, what happened? For some reason, the chat went back to earlier. That's weird. Here's the egg, by the way. Reese. It's a weird name. You what? Okay, yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I don't know if you notice in my chat, but the last thing before you said "you what" HG, it's you talking about your backlog, and then there's the fake crash thing. Yeah, I don't know why it did that. What happened? Is there an internet problem? By any chance? Hope not. But anyway, hopefully there was no bad internet problem. I was just talking about Red Dead 2's NPCs and all that, how they're going through their own day-to-day cycle, which is very unique. But yeah, Red Dead 2, very excellent game. Very big game. Probably, honestly, I think God of War and Red Dead 2 kind of eclipses the game of the year. Okay, cool. Just making sure. But yeah, I have to say, if I'm to give this game, if I'm to give the game of the year for 2018 to one or the other, I think I have to give credit to God of War for reinventing itself, reinventing the character, reinventing the mythology, and making it work, reinventing the playstyle and making every beat of it work, making an emotional story that really stands out. The combat to me is really satisfying still, from what I remember. That game is also, from a technical feat where it's on a tracking shot the whole time. There's so much going for that game that I'm just like, I can't believe this game did this. I can't believe Cory Barlog pulled it off. I watched that documentary, the Raising Kratos documentary. It's very intriguing. I do. And honestly, I think I have to give it to God of War 2018. And I would not have expected that, because at this point, this is like the sixth God of War in the franchise, but it did so much right. And it was such a big... I mean, like, remember that E3 I think it was 2016 reveal of Kratos walking out and the way the room erupts? That was a huge moment in games, like, from like a cultural standpoint. His return, the amount of sales that this game made, you were not seeing a game like this from any other first party from Nintendo, or like, I mean, I know it's all subjective, obviously, but a game on this scale, delivering the way it does with the mocap and everything, everything was firing on all cylinders. This was a 10 out of 10 game for me, like, without a doubt. Let me see if I get this bird. I don't think I got it before. There we are. But yeah, and boy, like, it became such a meme phenomenon too. Like, and I'm very much looking to see what Ragnarok has to offer in November. This is also a game too that I remember my friend picked up. He was gifted a PS4. He's usually a PC player. My friend Dom, and he played and he loved it every step of the way. So, excellent game, I'd say. I think before that, I think God of War Ascension was the last game by Sony Santa Monica, which is what I'm playing right now. So again, it came out like 5 years after Rockstar's last game, being in 2013. So I think maybe Rockstar put out like a kind of like a secondary game between GTA 5. I forget. But yeah. Red Dead Redemption 2 still is a game that's nothing to sneeze at. I still think I honestly, when I think of 2018, I didn't get Spider-Man until later on. So in the moment of 2018, after 2018 passed, I just remember thinking in my head, what was the bigger splash of a game, Red Dead Redemption 2 or God of War 2018? And honestly, they're both juggernauts. I mean, Red Dead Redemption 2 made the second best selling piece of entertainment, the highest selling, the second best highest selling piece of entertainment, and the number one being GTA 5. So for them to do that, that's huge. Kudos to both those games. Kudos to 2018 in general. Oops. Kudos to 2018 in general. Excellent games. You know, even though Call of Duty isn't really my jam, still a notable game. Way Out even being a great smaller game. Spyro Reignited Trilogy being a great remake that I did not deserve. That none of us deserved, honestly. It's still great. And then Spider-Man, God of War, Red Dead Redemption. Great year for games. Just like 2017. Honestly, ever since 2016 in PS4, they've been knocking it out of the park when it comes to the PS4. But yeah, so to recap, 1995 is Crash Bandicoot. No, I'm sorry, 1995 is Twisted Metal. 1996 is Crash Bandicoot. 1997 is Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back. 1998 is Spyro the Dragon. 1999 is Crash Team Racing. 2000 is Spyro Year of the Dragon. 2001 is Jak and Daxter, The Precursor Legacy. 2002 is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. 2003 is The Simpsons Hidden Run. 2004 2004 is Killzone. 2005 is Area 51. 2006 is Resistance: Fall of Man. 2007 is God of War 2. 2008 is Resistance 2. 2009 is Uncharted 2: Among Thieves. 2010 is God of War 3. 2011 is Killzone 3. 2012 is PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. 2013 is The Last of Us. 2014 is South Park: The Stick of Truth. And 2015 is MLB 15 The Show. Slow year. 2016 is Uncharted 4: Thief's End. 2017 is Horizon Zero Dawn. And 2018 is God of War. Next time we are going to go into these portals. I think we pretty much have everything here in terms of the main area. Protect Nancy's. Yeah, okay, so the portals we'll do next time. But yeah, that's my 2018 is my game of the year. 2019 is also going to be an interesting year, and we'll delve into that. But yeah, we'll call it here. We're running a little late. Puppet Pig, it's been a pleasure. Anyone out there who wants to like, comment, or subscribe, it's always appreciated. Please subscribe to Kev Plays on YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter at Let's Watch Series. And yeah, in the meantime, stay healthy, stay safe, keep a clear head, and keep on gaming. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.